Going on, my YouTube followers? What's going on? Well, let's move on to the YouTube world. Had a really good trip. Went to my cousin house, him and his wife house. Celebrate our anniversary up that way for about a day and a half. In Hampton, Virginia, came on back home, and because the life, we get back to realization. We got to get back to life, and so went up there, enjoyed myself, and we didn't get to do much, but we ate good, we watched movies, we laughed, all that stuff, and so that was good. But the topic of the day is, and it's been a sketchy topic about a lot of people, and I just got done talking to a guy. He was reaching out to me. He was saying, man, I really like the dog that he got from me. It came off Sky and Obsidian. He said, I really like this. I want to make this a foundation dog. He was thinking about getting some more, maybe another, male or female or something like that. But he was just getting some insight. And but he said he wanted to have more quality over quantity. And I definitely get it. I really do. And but that is a serious topic, because in my opinion, it ain't no right or wrong answer, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because in my opinion, a lot of people say I want more quality over quantity, and which that's a good, that numerically that's good that you want to think like that. That's just like trying to budget and you wanted to keep more money in and spending more money out. That's why a lot of people, when they exercise, you meal prep during the week, or you doing stuff that's going to really help you prevent just trying to go out so much or spend so much. Or you might say, a lot of people, they buy X amount of clothes during the year and say, look, I ain't going to buy nothing else. I'm going to just focus on just, stacking my money, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And that's the way they do it. And so with this topic right here, quality over quantity, it still goes hand in hand, because like sometimes you gotta keep something a little bit more than you don't want to keep, because you can think, for instance, one dog that you seen is coming out acting so great out of the litter, you might keep two acting so great, but the ones you didn't keep, somebody else got, they say X amount of months down the line or a year, man, this dog ain't nothing but acting nothing but a fool, boy. I'm talking about this mug so lit up, but yours still acting kind of, what I'm saying? Yours still acting, and them the ones that were acting great out of the pick, but them the ones was the best pick. So that's why it's sometimes great to really, just observe your litters or keep them. Best thing for you, just keep them, and then you pick what it was what's best for you. And then, like, say if you got somebody that just want a dog in the backyard, or just want to keep some or keep the blood around, that's when you do that. But me personally, I think both of them just go hand in hand, because sometimes you're gonna have to upscale and then you're gonna have to downscale, and that's that part of, and that equals to culling. You're gonna have to cull no matter what. So I just think most of them just gonna be, regardless how bad the dam and the sire is, regardless how bad, you still gonna have a hit and miss. So that's where that quantity over quality, it just throws it out the window, because they both go hand in hand, and they spelt different just off one ladder. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but when I speak on stuff, I just try to be realistic about things, so I can get people to really think outside the box with this, guys, because it just, and we all gonna have good and bad out of these dogs, and you want to have the best, but that don't mean because this dog ain't turned out the way his siblings turned out, that don't mean he can't be great at being a great producer, or just a great family dog, or a great, like I said before, that don't mean he can't or she can't. It's perfect for every life. So and that's why I be telling people, you gotta look at it. That's just like, you have siblings. If the mom and the mom and dad have, and I'm talking about people now, right now, quote unquote people. If they have 5 kids, one out of all the 4 did good, but you think them parents just gonna give up on their kid? Nah, they go keep working out. Hopefully, eventually they're gonna get right. And that's the same way with the dogs. I mean, it is what it is. And I had to really like kind of learn that from my homeboy. Like, he was like, man, some of the things that that he don't see in his time of being around the dogs and et cetera, et cetera. He said I don't have to learn a lot, because he was like, when my dogs first came out, they was a little hairy. A lot of people thought they were, they wasn't real American Pit Bulls, and I was dealing with the underbite a little bit, so it was so frustrating. But I learned a lot from him, and then learned a lot from this sucking a lot of stuff in, and then contemplating a lot of stuff, like, so. But what we talking about today is quantity or quality. They really go hand in hand. They ain't even really no verse. They just go hand in hand, in my opinion, because you got to see what you breed. But then when sometimes, when you put that certain blend or that certain formula together, you know what you're going to get as far as out of your dog. You know what you're expecting. But like I say, sometimes it skip a generation. It's a hit and miss. Because when you breed dogs, you want all quality. But sometimes a lot of them just don't make the, a lot of them don't make the cut. But are they bad dogs because they don't make the cut? No, they can still be good dogs, in my opinion, to a certain extent. They can still be. And like I said, and how I look at it, man, it's all your theories of your inexperiences and your experiences. Inexperiences and your experiences, or however you want to put it, your experiences or inexperiences. That's all it is. But you try to get better, or you're gonna get better within that course, you know what I'm saying, or that task that you're trying to complete. That's what you're supposed to do it for. Try to get better, or you're gonna get better. And that's why I say these two words, they just one ladder off, of being a different. You got one that got more, and then you got one that has, you want to have, a good consistent percent out of your dogs when you're dealing with, quality. You want to have that. And I definitely, I definitely get it, because it's one of them things, because everybody want to have good dogs, especially if you put your time and money and all this stuff up in it. You want to have the best. But sometimes it takes where you got to go back to the drawing board. You got to. I'm willing to go back to the drawing board to get it right. I don't care. I ain't ashamed to fall. I ain't ashamed to do this. I ain't ashamed to say, somebody say, man, they really wasn't no good dogs. What I'm gonna do? Cry? Nah, we're gonna try to fix it. We're gonna try to immediately fix it right then and there. What was done, or what took place for these dogs to not act like that, especially what I bred. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. And you're supposed to be able to fix it. As a breeder, you're supposed to fix it. And I don't hear stories where guys, they won't even come, they won't get back with the client or anything. And like I said, I don't gotta tell nobody business about what's going on, because they ain't me and I ain't them. But at the same time, I'm looking at these two words, and they really go hand in hand, because sometimes you have to breed more to see what you really got. And percentage wise, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs may not tell you within a length of time, even though it may be showing right then and there. But we talking about, if you're gonna be in this for a lifetime, or be around this for X amount of decades, or over, you gotta be able to do that. And then now when you say, okay, I got more than quality, because I done been up to like 18 dogs, 19, and then I was like, well, okay, now I can get rid of something, because I don't see how these dogs respond in certain ways, and seeing how they corresponding, with me, with other dogs being around them, all this stuff. So I'm seeing this, I'm paying attention. So I think, them two words really go hand in hand together. And like I say, we want quality. We want that quality. We gotta have that in order to get noticed, in order to keep our strands going forth, in order for our kennels to stay solid all the way around. Cause me personally, I want to do so many different blends. Like I want to do it all the way. Like, you know, I just don't focus on, you know, the inbreeding aspect. I try to implement all three: inbred, line bred, and outcrossing all together. I try to implement all three of them, so now that way I can get a higher percentage out of just focusing off one. Because we know inbred, what they're gonna do is it's gonna penetrate them dogs' high prey drive when you breed them, inbreed them, and especially like some strands, they can have tighter bred dogs and they still be great dogs. But me, I'm just looking to have it balanced all the way around, and that's how I want to do it. And the only reason I want to do it that way is because I seen a lot of when I was getting ready to start back getting into purchasing a dog, and I was trying to look to get one from McNamara Kennels. They all the way in somewhere, I forgot where they from, but man, they dogs, man, they just athletes, man. When I say athletes, if this dog exercise 2.5, 3 hours and it still be wanting to go, man, that's awesome. And then they had one little puppy, like kind of biting on his ear. He was just so focused on, he didn't even try to attack him. Most dogs, they try to attack. But they had a prey drive balance, and they said on their where is that called? Their introduction, or what they was introducing for us on their line stuff. They were just like, if anything that doesn't fit their criteria or fit their program, they won't do it. They'll just instantly wipe it out. And that's how we got to start doing. So that's mainly what they pretty much saying was they were just culling the whole process. You know what I'm saying? They've been culling. So, man, and like I said, them two words, they really just go hand in hand. I mean, they really do, man. I mean, because you're going to have to see. That's why you got 2 litters, you got 16. Now you out of them 16, you can, you know, wipe out what you think was the best out of them 16. And it might be 8. It might be 7. But you take the best out of that. Now, you may have to keep them, and then you, shoot, granted, now, if you got round that 10 made it, boy, that's a good percentage. I'm just saying, if, you know, so it's one of them things, though, you know, like I say, but a lot of people, you know, and so well as me, I want to have quality. That's what I do it for, just for that specific, you know what I'm saying, to have that, you know what I mean? So it's just one of them things, you know. But yeah, man, I hope this was a good video. I ain't gonna really try to go too long like that, you know what I'm saying? So but anyways, you know, I just had to do it because it was just on my mind. And so that's what I'm doing it for, you know, basically for the breed and keep producing high quality athletes, man, and that's what it's for. And I'm only gonna get better. And and right now I'm down to 9 right now. I don't had up there, and I don't had a couple yard wrecks. I don't had a couple deaths. Everything just hit me while I was down, man, but I'm gonna get back up strong. So but now I'm still trying to, you know, like I was saying about the quantity versus quality. You know, you try to budget that, but you kind of breed more to see what you really got, because this off 1 or 2, 3 breeding, that might not tell you nothing. And then you know, you start selling them, and then somebody be like, I thought you said this was gonna do this. This dog ain't nothing. So you basically gotta know, you know. So that's a good thing. You just gotta know. So but yeah, All Will Kennels at your services. All Will Kennels of the Carolinas at your services. I don't know why I forget that all the time, but basically, man, you have to. I think they just go hand in hand, because sometimes you can get a bunch of dogs, and then you can get rid of some too, because people always ask for older dogs, especially if you know. I'd rather to see if it's quality first for letting somebody else see it, you know what I'm saying? But now, lately, you know, I've been knowing what I was going to throw out for us, because I always, before I even breed, I always go and think it out. I always contemplate about it. I always envision it. I always manifest it first, and I was like, yeah, well, this got to work, just because how this is, or how this blended up, how this, and that's all it is. When you breed these dogs, you just have to have a good blend of dogs, and then when it's like that, you know, then it's gonna work. And I heard somebody say this the other day. You know, I ain't gonna say the name or whatever, but he was like, you know, I done went through a couple dogs, a couple strands. I ain't doing all that. That's just me. I'm gonna figure it out. He said every time I try to go over 50%, them dogs didn't produce nothing. But my thing is this. So before, when you got the dogs, there had to be something for you had to have any interest in them. You know, but why? Some strands can't go heavy. Some strands can't. You got to know what dog can go heavy. And I ain't saying nothing against, you know, disregarding his knowledge of the dog. That was just his own theory of his inexperience and experience with the blood. So I'm not, you know, disagreeing or saying he was this, that, and the third with what he was saying. But me, on the other hand, I just look different. I would never, if I had some stuff, I definitely would have figured it out. You know, okay, so since I can't go heavy on this, what can I do? What can I do to, you know, make these dogs? And he could have been great at what he was doing as far as lion bred. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, doubling up on something. So, but, you know, like I say, that's his thing. That ain't mine. But I knew I would have tried to figure it out. And all it takes is just figuring it out, going back to the drawing board. But I hope y'all really enjoyed the video, man. We're going to do another one. I gave y'all about 16 minutes. I'm about to get a little bit of exercise in, go hoop a little bit. So, yeah. So, had fun on my anniversary. That was good. You know, 15 years in. I'm about 9 years back in with the dog. So, yep. So I really need to do an anniversary with my dogs too. That'd be a good thing to start doing too, just as well. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. I hope y'all really enjoyed it, man. Subscribe if you can. But we just trying to improve the breed, and we're gonna do it the right way. That's basically it, man. Big shout out to my haters, man. You know, y'all just keep putting fuel in me to consume that fire, man. Just keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all doing the best job at it too. You know, we ain't gonna call out no names, but you know, we gonna improve. I said, you know, we definitely gonna improve. You know, and you need them haters out there too. You know, so you need them. But all right, peace. All Will Kennels of the Carolinas at your services.